All right, we are here with the first deck profile for Paradox Rift on the channel, and if you've seen me talk about it before, we're talking about Gholdengo EX, the Make It Rain Pokemon. I can't believe that's the name of the attack, Make It Rain. But Gholdengo is the 1000th Pokemon in the Pokedex, and this thing is pretty cool. It plays sort of similar to Chimpao, so if you like that kind of, kind of like that deck, where you get a lot of energy in play and you're discarding cards and doing damage from play, well, this way you're discarding them from your hand, and you only have to ever have one energy attached to your Pokemon in play. But we have the 260 HP Stage 1 Pokemon EX, so it's worth 2 prize cards. The ability coin bonus. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. Sounds cool. If it's in your active spot, draw 2 cards. This is similar to Slurpuff from way back in the day in the XY era. In the attack, Make It Rain 50 times the amount of basic energy cards you discard from your hand. It's very similar to Blacephalon from the end of the Sun and Moon era. So we are rocking a 4 line of this in this list. To note, I'm playing the 50 HP Gholdengo with Call for Family. You get a bench of Pokemon. There is a 70 HP. It has 2 retreat. It doesn't really have a great attack. It's flip a coin until you get tails. It does 20 for every heads. If you get lucky, that pays off, sure. But we really just want to evolve up as fast as possible and fill up our bench as fast as possible. So we are playing 4 Gholdengo and 4 Gholdengo EX. To support them, we have 2 copies of Bidoof and 2 copies of Bibarel. Of course, we're playing the Carefree Consonance, where it's unaffected by damage from attacks when it's on the bench, on the Bidoof, and then, of course, the Industrious Incisors drawn until you have 5 cards in your hand. So basically, if you sequence this correctly, you'll have enough cards between Gholdengo and Bibarel to where if you Bibarel first, or play your cards within your hand down, then Bibarel, and then you can start using coin bonus potentially to go beyond 5, to go to 6, 7, so on and so forth. Continuing along, we have 1 copy of Radiant Greninja. We are playing a lot of basic energy in here, so it's just an extra way to get them into the discard pile because you can recur them a lot easier and then draw out extra cards. So again, the whole point of this is drawing extra cards. And the last 2 Pokemon are Manaphy and Jirachi. Manaphy will protect your bench from attacks, and Jirachi will prevent your bench Pokemon from having effects of attacks place counters on them. So Sableye, so you're proof from Greninja, you're proof from Sableye, and a few other things. But we're playing both of these. Again, a little 50 HP weenies. We've got to be able to protect them for sure to evolve into Gholdengo. That's the Pokemon lineup. And this deck is about gold and coins, and we're going to theme it off with the one and only Pokestop from Pokemon Go. Once during either player's turn, they can discard the top 3 cards of their deck. Any item cards found that way get added to their hand. The rest stay discarded. So this is our Path of the Peak bump, and our main engine for the deck is the Pokestop outside of the Pokemon abilities. So we are playing a lot of items. Of course, we have the 4 copies of Battle VIP Pass to grab 2 basic Pokemon during our first turn, and only during our first turn. After that, this is just discard fodder. For cards like Ultra Ball, we are playing 4 copies of this. Discard 2 cards, search deck for a Pokemon, and put it into your hand. This is how you get your Bibarel or your Gholdengo. We have 2 copies of Nest Ball, only 2. Again, Call for Family, Battle Pass. Most likely off a Pokestop and some draw cards, you're going to find the Pokemon you need. And once you get really cooking, you're pretty much good to go. Continuing on for some deck thinning, and another new card from Paradox Rift is the Earthen Vessel, the ancient card, but we aren't playing anything else that's ancient. We're just using this for its effect. You can only use this if you discard a card from your hand. Search deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them and put them in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So it just gets energy out of the deck. And you can also just, what's really cool is, if with Pokestop, if you mill energy, it's great. If you hit this, you're going to get energy in your hand. It's a really solid card. This is honestly probably the best card in Paradox Rift, as a lot of people have said before. This is just opening up a lot of cool potential plays. I even see this like as a one-up in Shinpao. I could see this potentially in Gardevoir if people want to continue to play it. Hard to say. Alright, continuing along, we have 4 copies of Superior Energy Retrieval. Discard 2 cards, you get up to 4 energy from your discard pile back into your hand. If you discard energy, though, you don't get them back with this, so you have to make sure that you're getting other energy back with this. And then in terms of more recursion, we have energy retrieval, just 2 copies, just get 2 basic energy from your discard pile back to your hand, and 1 copy of Super Rod. Typically in my sequencing and everything, I've honestly saved Super Rod to the very, very end of the game, where like I'm struggling to potentially get the amount of energy cards in my hand needed. What's really cool is if you get your deck down to 0 and you Super Rod energy back in, you could just coin bonus into them, which is really cool. Or say, for example, you need to like coin bonus into a Pokemon or whatever. Super Rod it in, and then go from there. The next item on the docket, we have 4 copies of Cross Switcher. This is a little bit of a greedy play, but again, Pokestop allows for these sorts of shenanigans. You get to play 2 at a time, and then it's basically boss's orders and switch. So you boss up whatever you want, and then you switch in. So what's really cool is if you sequence it correctly, Cross Switcher will let you use coin bonus in the active with one of your Gholdengo, and then Cross Switcher into another Gholdengo, bringing up whatever opponent's target that you want to knock out, and then draw 2 more cards. So again, a little bit greedy, but definitely worth the cheeky plays. And the last 2 items in here, we just have a single copy of Switch. Both Gholdengo and Bibarel have a 2 retreat cost, so they're a little bit chunky. So if you get stuck with like one of the active, between Cross Switchers and this 1 copy of Switch, you should be okay to be able to pivot around. And then last but not least, 1 copy of Pal Pad to put supporters that we're going to miss with Pokestop back into the deck. So hopefully we can draw into them with coin bonus and Industrious Incisors. In terms of supporters, we're not playing too many. We're playing a total of 5. We have 2 copies of Worker, discard a Stadium and draw 3 cards. We have 1 copy of Avery, draw 3. If your opponent has a bigger bench, they discard until they have 3 left. So again, just a little bit of disruption. It doesn't really do too much here, but it does help prevent them from setting up. In addition, like Avery might see a lot of play in Lost Zone potentially to get rid of things like Manaphy and Jirachi in the future. We have 1 copy of Iono. Both players shuffle their hands, put them on the bottom of the deck, and then draw cards equal to however many prize cards they have remaining. So again, you have Bibarel, so it's whatever. We don't really need to play Iono, but this is just to disrupt our opponent in case they get really far ahead in terms of hand size. And last but not least, we have a Clara to go ahead and return up to 2 or both Pokemon or basic energy cards from your discard pile back to your hand. Another way to, say for example, if you mill your Gholdengo and you need to evolve it, you've got Clara, you can grab that back, grab Bibarel back, grab Greninja, whatever you need to grab, and grab 2 energy as well. And to round it out, we have 11 copies of basic metal energy. Unfortunately, mixed arts at the moment. Trying to wait to pick up a few more of these cards. But this is the list I would play in a little bit, and it's a lot of fun. I don't think this is like the most meta deck, unfortunately. I think it's like a tier 2.5, tier 3 archetype. I'm sure there's other lists out there that have cracked it a little bit better. I know that this has been out in Raging Surf in Japan for a little bit longer, and I see a lot of different things. I see them play Scissor, I've seen Curlia, I've seen Basque Legion, and I just wanted to try and stay as tight and consistent with like the count. So it's like I'm trying to play 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 of all these things. That way it's just consistent and easy to use and pilot. But I've had a lot of fun with this. I definitely will be trying this out at League and probably some League challenges. I probably won't play this at any big cups or anything like that. I won't be able to play at any regionals until probably Charlotte or Knoxville. So who knows what's going to happen by then. We have a lot of time to figure out the meta, and we have LAIC and a handful of regionals before then, so we'll just have to play it by ear. I'm also working on some Iron Valiant shenanigans, some Roaring Moon. This set is awesome. I'm super excited to be able to build multiple decks, unlike last set where we just built Charizard and called it a day. I'm even going to update Charizard with some of the new cards in here too. So expect a lot of deck profiles over the coming weeks. And of course, if you want more nonsense, I've been streaming a lot more over on Twitch for some variety content. So if you want to play Mario, Sonic, Fortnite, Halo, whatever, come hang out with me over on twitch.tv/Steuben, same name, same place. Fun times will be had. A little bit degen sometimes over there, but that's a whole different story. So not for the faint of heart. But that's it. This is the deck list. Let me know what you think. You know what? Let's try something. Let's sequence some hands out. Hang tight. Alright, so I've been shuffling for a minute here. Shout out to Ultimate Guard for making these awesome katana sleeves. They are still my favorite sleeves to use. This is a brand new pack I put on for this deck profile. So fancy treatment for Gholdengo here. But yeah, I've been shuffling for a few minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and give it like a little cut. And we're just going to sequence this out. Like I said before I cut, is that decks like this in like Lost Zone are really good to just be able to solitaire and see what you can do. And unfortunately, this is looking like a pretty rough hand here. We are going to start Bidoof, and then we're going to set our prizes over. We're not going to look at them. And then hopefully there's a good card off the top, and we get a Pokestop, so that's pretty good. So we could potentially do two things. We could either Nest Ball first or Pokestop first. We're going to play the Pokestop regardless, but you don't have to spin it right away. So it really comes down to how you want to sequence this turn out. You typically want to thin out as many non-item cards from your deck before using Pokestop, so it makes more sense to use Nest Ball and get ourselves a Gimmighoul. We could also potentially get Radiant Greninja here and then attempt to draw cards. So again, it's going to come down to Pokestop, but we will see more cards this way if we get a Radiant Greninja in play. So you could take it either way. Sometimes being safe and getting the Gimmighoul makes more sense. But you could also see and try and read what your opponent has, what their opponent is playing. Of course, you're going to see they're active by now, so you can kind of gauge that. Again, this deck is kind of a glass cannon. It is about greed anyway, so I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't potentially Radiant Greninja. Between Pokestop and Radiant Greninja, we could potentially find a Battle VIP pass, or an Ultra Ball or a Nest Ball, and then go from there. So we'll go for the greed play here with the Radiant Greninja. And again, we'll go ahead and draw first with Radiant Greninja. Discard energy, draw 2 with concealed cards. We found a Gholdengo and a Nest Ball. We now play the Nest Ball. It did pay off. So now we'll get our Gimmighoul. We have a Gholdengo for next turn. Gholdengo. I mixed the names between Gimmighoul and Gholdengo. Okay, a little bit of shuffly waffly there. And then now we spin the Pokestop. We get a Cross Switcher, a Metal Energy, and a Pal Pad. The Metal Energy goes to the bin. We have a Cross Switcher and a Pal Pad. So actually a pretty solid hand here for the next turn. So we assume, you know, they attach, play supporter. Most decks typically, unless they're playing like Lost Zone or like Miraidon, aren't going to be able to retaliate and attack. So we can play out the second turn, hypothetically, in this board state. We draw another Gimmighoul. Of course, we're going to bench that away. And at this point in time, we definitely evolve, as I fumble and throw it. We evolve into the Gholdengo. We have Cross Switchers to target something down, but we don't have enough energy cards or, say, resources here to get a KO. So we have Worker, we have Clara. I think we can go ahead and concealed cards safely and draw 2, and that's really good. We found an Earthen Vessel. So now, at this point, we could play the Pokestop out. We get an Ultra Ball, another Earthen Vessel, and another Pokestop. Pokestop will go to the discard pile. But now we have, technically in our hand, we have 5 energy cards because of the Earthen Vessels. We still haven't used Coin Bonus, but we're definitely going to Cross Switcher before we do anything out. So we can Cross Switcher out, bring up their target from the bench that we want to KO. And then we can go ahead and Coin Bonus or Earthen Vessel. I think Earthen Vessel here is going to go ahead and pop off first. I think we're going to go ahead and discard the Ultra Ball. Or you could draw 2. See, this is, again, there's a lot of, like, micromanagement in the sequencing here. So I guess we'll Earthen Vessel away the Ultra Ball. Take a look at the deck. We still have plenty of energy. 1, 2, 3 energy left in the deck here. So now we have these in our hand. So we can play the Earthen Vessel again and get up to 2 more. But we also have Clara. I kind of want to just play the Clara next turn. I think here we go ahead and shuffle up from that first Earthen Vessel being played and grabbing the 2 energy cards. And I can see us using coin bonus now safely. So since the active spot, you get to draw 2 cards instead of just 1. A little shuffle, a little cut, and then coin bonus. We draw 2. We get an Ultra Ball and another Gimme Ghoul. Of course, we're going to bench the Gimme Ghoul down. We have the Ultra Ball. At this point, we can hold the Ultra Ball for the next turn to find another Gholdengo. Or potentially, we can actually play Worker, discard our Pokestop, and draw 3. And then we can Ultra Ball into Bibarel here. But I think we're still in a good spot. So we typically probably assume that we need to discard 4 to 5 energy cards to get a KO here. And we have 3 in hand. We haven't supported yet. I think we're going to go for the Worker and yeet the Pokestop and draw 1, 2, 3. We draw an energy and a Bibarel. We're going to evolve. We definitely need to get a turn attachment here. Earthen Vessel. So I think we just discard the Ultra Ball for the Earthen Vessel. Get 2 more energy out of the deck. And with 5 in hand, and them going second, unless they have, like, unless they were able to, like, play, like, some sort of, like, crazy evolution combo wombo or something, like with the TM to evolve into a stage 1 big EX. Most likely 5 energy is going to discard enough to do 250, and we would take our first 2 prize cards. And then we get a Cross Switcher and another basic Metal Energy. And then, yeah, now if we get Path, we've got Bibarel out of it. We've got Ultra Balls, Cross Switchers. So, pretty solid hand here. We can go ahead and take a look at the prizes. Kind of unfortunate with 2 Superiors at the bottom there. But there's still 2 in the deck, plus 2 Retrievals, and your Super Rod, so. But, yeah, I mean, this deck can be a lot of fun. Again, we'll just shuffle up a little bit more. Alright, we've shuffled enough. Let's do one more quick little hand. We'll do a little cut. And take a look at our 7 cards. And we have a pretty okay opening hand. We got a Gimme Ghoul, an S-Ball, Pokestop. Looks pretty solid. We can also potentially call for family. If we assume we are going second, so then we can definitely call for family. So we can draw. We found a Bibarel. Of course, we're going to go ahead and Nest Ball. At this point in time, I vote we get a another Gimme Ghoul. And like I said, I assume we're going second because we potentially took the first 2 prize cards in the last game with the last hand played out. So shuffle up, give it a little mock cut, and then we can play the Pokestop and spin to win here. We hit a Bidoof, Metal Energy, and a Jirachi, so all to the bin. A little unfortunate here, so hopefully we should have potentially prize checked. And yep, we're okay. We attach, call for family, get a Bidoof. And then we pass it back over to our opponent, and we can assume that they KO the Gimme Ghoul. So that's in the bin. We promote our other Gimme Ghoul. We draw for turn. Right off the top, we got a Gholdengo. We got a Bibarel. We can attach for turn. And then incisors first. 1, 2, 3, all to the bin. Or that's our hand. What am I doing? I said incisors, didn't I? All right. I did say incisors. And then now we can go ahead and coin bonus for 2. Retrieval, another energy. And then now we can Pokestop. 1, 2, 3, and we lose Worker and Gimme Ghoul. So we have 2 Gimme Ghouls in the discard pile. It's a little sus. And we also have 2 energy in the discard pile. We've done really all we can do. So I guess at this point we probably need to play the Worker, discard our Pokestop, draw 3 more cards. We find useless Battle Pass and a Bibarel right now, but we can at least play this Retrieval, get these 2 energy back, and hopefully take a KO doing 200. So I doubt it on that one. Again, spin to win on this one. This is a little bit of an unfortunate opening, but that's what happens with decks like this. It's a glass cannon. But hopefully you enjoyed. the extra little like hand play out of this deck. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And of course, if you've made it this far, please smash the like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. And please subscribe if you haven't already done so. It really means a lot. Coming up to 3,400 right now. I'd love to hit 4,000 by the end of the year. That's a pretty solid goal to be able to accomplish, so hopefully we can get there, and if we do, we'll celebrate with some sort of cool giveaway. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet, but keep an eye out for something like that. Also, follow me over on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it now. And I'll be giving away a lot of the codes from this set over there in the next couple of days. But much love, peace out, see you later.